Hi, welcome back to the channel. And my name is Sam, and in today's video, we're going to be taking the game series Welcome To and adding a random game mechanic into it. And so if you're new to these type of videos, my goal is to wake up my brain with a brainstorming game design challenge. And so what we'll do is make sure everything else is set up. Not that. Well, we'll take the game of the day, and we will go over to our wheel of mechanics. And this wheel here has 60 different game mechanics for us to design around. And so if we spin the wheel, it's going to prompt us with a random mechanic that we have to insert into or design into the Welcome To series. All right, so we have the I cut you choose system, which feels like that will go hand in hand with Welcome To. But for the sake of sticking with the script, we're now going to set a 5-minute timer and design how we might add the I cut you choose mechanic into Welcome To. And so for those of you who are unfamiliar with this style of mechanic, it's generally one player will have all the information and they'll decide how to split it, and then the other players will have the option to choose what result they want before the player who divvied up the information. And I think the easiest way to get into this is for those of you who aren't familiar with Welcome To, you'll have all of these, you'll have these 3 decks of cards with, I believe, a number on them from 1 to 15. And on the discard of the flip piles will be a symbol. So there's the pool, the park, hazard. And traditionally in the game, you will be choosing one of the piles to write into your sheet. And the way we could add the I cut you choose mechanic to it is we would add a active player. So we would need an active player pawn or something like that. And potentially you have the number of piles equal to the number of players in the game. And the active player will then flip or draw a card from the top of each of the decks. So in this 3-player game, they would draw and choose which pairing to put the discarded kind of symbology into. And from there, you would go in reverse turn order, can't speak today, reverse turn order to choose which pairing you want. So the 2 modifications that we would be making to Welcome To is instead of instead of just flipping and putting the card in the discard, the active player would get to choose which card gets discarded into which pile. And then normally in Welcome To, everyone would be able to choose their pairing at the same time, and it doesn't matter if you overlap the same pairing or not. In this variation of I cut you choose, you would have to go in turn order or reverse turn order to select one, and no player would be able to select more than one. You wouldn't be able to select the same pile, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And so how this might work is if we're playing with 3 players and the first player is the flipper of the cards, players 2 and 3. Once they've determined that this card goes here, this card goes there, and that card stays the same, player 3 would put their token out to claim which pile they'd want. Then player 2 would put their token out, and then player 1 would be stuck with that one there. And so that, in a nutshell, would be how I would design an I cut you choose mechanic into the game series Welcome To. That was fairly straightforward in how to add it into the game in terms of my opinion. But I would love to hear in the comments below if you think that this would add to Welcome To, if you think it would take away, if you have other ideas of how you might be able to add the I cut you choose mechanic into Welcome To. I'd love to hear it in the comments below. And if you like this style of brainstorming video, I post these specific videos every Wednesday, so follow along for more. Have a good one.